Welcome to Opel Gymnasium, home of the Sailors, for a little Thursday night quad duel between Waterloo Columbus, Catholic Newman, or Newman Catholic, Central Springs, and Owine.
Yeah, we're getting a little late start here tonight. We have some technical difficulties. Columbus will be facing Mason City Newman. First match is at 106, which was a forfeit. 113 was a forfeit. 120 was a forfeit from the looks of it. So we're waiting to see who checks in next. Columbus and Mason City will be on the green and white mat, and Owine and Central Springs will be over on the black and green mat. Like we're at the 126-pound weight class for your Sailors. That's Juan Negrete. And for Central Spring, or for Mason City Newman, excuse me, it looks like Daniel Spooner.
Nice double there from Spooner. Looks to throw a half in right away, collecting some back points early. And we'll get the fall.
Fall came at 26 seconds in the first period. Up next is a 132-pound weight class for your Sailors. You have Calvin Smith. And for Mason City Newman, it looks like it will be freshman Mael Quam. Calvin's sporting a brace on the shoulder tonight. That's something new. Haven't seen that before. Calvin's trying to get control on his feet. Had a nice hand fight. Newman's in on a shot. Calvin's doing a good job scrambling. He's going to turn that into a shot of his own, and Calvin with the takedown.
Nice defensive offense there from Calvin.
Quam with the escape. Sailors are leading 3-1 in the match. That was a good scramble by Calvin. Juan in on a shot. Calvin had a whizzer, but he's given up the takedown. Trying to go for a leg pass, but he got his arm tied up. Juan from Newman is picking up some back points here. Calvin's got a long time to fight this one out. There's 45 seconds left. See how good of a job he can do.
Needs to get his arm through there.
Yeah, he needs to shrimp that arm through. Looks like he has a space to shrimp out here a little bit, but Quam has sunk that half Nelson in pretty deep. It's getting very close.
Looks like he had his elbow there, using it for a bridge. Probably the only thing keeping him alive right now. Trying to get an arm through. Harry bellies out.
Calvin bellies out. He's going to survive this period. 4 near fall points for Quam from Mason City. He's got a lead right now of 8-3, winding down the first period here. That's a good job by Calvin fighting off his back there.
Looks like we're going to check the score. Looks right to me. 8-3. Takedown for Calvin. Escape for Newman. Get their own takedown on 4 near fall.
Yep.
giving both guys a chance to catch their breath here.
Yeah, both guys look like they're sucking wind here a little bit, so not sure if conditioning's a factor. I know Calvin's getting over an illness, so he might not still be 100% yet, cardiovascular-wise. Looking down behind the Columbus bench while we wait, we got Sailor Hall of Famer Coach Jim Leahy in the house.
Must be back from his island sabbatical.
Yeah, he was gone for a long time. He's got a nice tan, though. I'll give him that. Not sure what we're waiting on here. Scoreboard says second period with 2 minutes up. I don't know if we're waiting on the referee here or what we're doing. Looks like we're having more scoreboard difficulties. My broadcast partner, Brandon Bolin, is down at the head table now trying to figure things out. Looks like the referee's heading back to the mat. Looks like we're ready to get back to action here.
Yeah, just had some scores backwards at the table, got that rectified, and ready to go again.
Sailors with a choice, and they defer. Newman chooses neutral.
I've been working from a knee here.
Quam from Mason City Newman seems very comfortable on his feet. He's in on a shot here. He's got a single leg up in the air. Calvin's trying to fight off one leg. And Quam with the takedown. Calvin's got to free his wrist here. Quam trying to dig in an arm bar on that shoulder with a brace on it here. Calvin's doing a decent job of fighting that off. Quam's just a freshman, but he looks pretty impressive on his feet. He's very, very comfortable in the neutral position here. On top, he's riding parallel here, trying to bring it on 2-on-1. Doesn't really seem like he's working too much to the side here. Calvin's trying to get to his feet here.
Does get the one here. Trails 11-4. 30 seconds left in the second.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I was Calvin, I'd continue to be tied up here. He's pretty comfortable there. Hard to get to your offense when you're tied up. 18 seconds to go in the second period. Calvin with a little duck under a 10. Wasn't successful. And Calvin with a slide by.
Knee.
Looks like he kind of lost his balance there. He's kind of in a semi-split position here. As End of the second period. Mason City Newman is up 11-4 over the Sailors.
Calvin looks for the tilt here on top. Almost got it that first time. Still has it loaded up. Gonna look to throw boots in. That's one. Now he's got both of them.
Got to get to that skydive position though and get some pressure on those hips. Riding a little high here. Not quite sure what he was looking for there. Almost looked like he was trying to put a cradle in with the legs in. I haven't seen that one before. He's got a little crossface action here, looking for that crossface cradle. Looks like he's got it locked up. Can he get out to the side? Get some pressure in.
There he's got it.
And he does, and he's got a tight crossface cradle. And Smith with the fall, trailing 11-4 in the third period. He locks up that crossface cradle. That's a great job by Calvin being aggressive. And we always teach these kids that it doesn't matter what the score is. If there's time on the scoreboard, there's time to win. So Calvin does just that tonight.
Way to be resilient there from Calvin. Very, very close to being pinned there in the first period.
Yeah, he did a great job fighting off his back there. It's a big win for him. Confidence booster for sure. We're up to the 138-pound weight class here. Looks like for the Sailors we have junior Nick Barumez going up against a senior Alex Bosch for Mason City Newman.
Nick into a shot, well defended by Newman, puts him right to his back. Earns that forward near fall count. Wicked little crossface there, going to look to lock up the cradle. And does take Nick over for a count. Looking for a fall here. And we'll get the fall. Minute and 21 remaining, 39 seconds.
After the 138-pound weight class, we have a team score of 12-12. Right now we're at 144 for your Sailors. It looks like it's going to be
forfeit at 44.
Nobody for the Sailors. So we'll move to the 150-pound weight class for the Sailors. It looks like it's going to be Southmore Brady Schumann going up against freshman Michael Platts from Mason City Newman.
Brady Bambi Schumann for the Sailors. Little hand fight there from Brady, jockeying for position.
Brady's trying to use that long frame of his, looking for a heel pick, and he gets it. Can he get the takedown? And he does.
Needs to return or get out of bounds. Good mat return there from Brady. Careful not to lock hands. Needs to return him again or just run him out of bounds. And does run him out of bounds. Newman wrestlers not particularly thrilled with that, but
no, he definitely wasn't thrilled with that. That's for sure. He looks over his coaching staff and kind of gives them both hands up in the air here. Newman wrestler's back to his feet. Running out of bounds here. Both guys are out of bounds. That's a stall call for the Sailors. Not sure I necessarily agree with that. Seemed like Newman was kind of running towards the out of bounds line there. Kind of hard for the offensive wrestler there to catch up. But it is what it is. Referees calls final there.
Gabe Newman, 3-1 with about a minute left in the first. Brady goes for a sweep single. Wasn't sure he had that one in the bag, but like to see it.
Yeah, the Newman wrestler's on that heel pick to the left leg. Brady needs to maybe fake that shot and come back the other side. 35 seconds to go in the first period. Schumann's up 3-1. There was a headlock there for Schumann if he would have felt it.
12 seconds, dives under a leg. Back to his feet, nothing hurt.
Yeah, he definitely wants that. He definitely wants that heel pick, but the Newman guy's not having anything to do with it. So after one, it's 3-1 Columbus. Newman with the choice. Red defers. Green goes down. Schumann to his feet, and he gets his one. In 3 seconds, he gets to his feet and gets his one. Comes back with a hard tie-up. Gets that heel pick on the opposite side. It's almost like he was listening to me. Got a single in the air, kind of looking to lock up a cradle. And he gave up the leg. And he gives up a takedown. Nice high crotch by the Newman wrestler. Right to a half Nelson. Brady is on his back. We got a long time to fight out here, but Brady's just about got it. And the Newman wrestler locks it up tight, getting near fall points here. Brady needs to work his right arm through and get to his belly here. Brady's doing everything he can to buy time, and he just got it in too deep. Newman wrestler with the fall at 1 minute and 3 seconds in the second period. After 150 pounds, Newman is leading 24-12 in the team score. 157 coming up for the Sailors. We have junior Gage Gellner. And for Newman, looks like it's going to be senior Paulson.
Gage looked like he was looking for a little slide by there.
Yeah, he looked like he was trying to set that up, but Newman wrestler looks like he's in pretty tight. Nice little snap down by Newman for the takedown. He's got that wrist tied up, looking for a half Nelson here. Gage needs to get some hand control, but he gives up that wrist, looking for a bar arm here. Got that 2-on-1 going on. Both wrestlers resting on the edge of the mat here. Got that new out of bounds rule here this year. You only have to have 1 point of contact in unless the defensive wrestler hits Jim Flora, which he doesn't.
Gage doing a pretty good job of building and keeping his base. Just got to work out now.
Yeah, he needs to reach down and take that hand off his ankle. He gets broken back down to his belly here. Paulson from Newman likes that ankle pick breakdown here. He's got Gellner flat on the mat here, looking for that power half. Gage does a good job of fighting it off on the right side. Now he comes back with the power half on the left side. 10 seconds to go in the period. From a defensive perspective, what would you like to see Gellner improve on in that down position?
He's doing a pretty good job of keeping the base, like I said, but not really a lot of hand control there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much hand control either, kind of getting that wrist tied up.
Like to see him fight hands a little bit more and get a little control and get the heck out of there.
Second period choice went to the Sailors. They deferred. Mason City Newman chooses neutral.
Newman's doing a pretty good job of working the head there across all their matches so far. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, they've been pretty good at hand fighting, pretty aggressive with it here. From what I've seen so far, it looks like Newman's very, very comfortable on their feet, firing off a lot of shots here. There's another one, looks like for an outside single here. Gellner's trying to hold on, and he gets his arm caught to a half Nelson. We got a takedown and near fall points for Paulson from Mason City Newman.
And gets the fall. 40 seconds into the second period.
So after 157, Mason City Newman 30, your Sailors 12 on the scoreboard. Coming up at 165, we have junior Ethan Harper for the Sailors. And sophomore Hudson Hensley for your Mason City Newman. Mason City looks like they have the advantage in the build here.
Harper doing a good job digging those underhooks.
Yeah, he's digging his underhook. Makes me wonder if he's looking for that lefty headlock that he seems to like so much.
Got it the other day. Might try to get it again here.
Yeah, we'll see Newman with a nice high crotch for a takedown.
And gets sucked back.
Harper is on his back trying to fight out. He's got to get that arm, work that arm through the body here. That's one thing I've noticed with your Sailors so far tonight. Is they get their arms tied up on the bottom. They're not working their arms between the body to get back to their belly, making it a little bit more difficult to fight off that position.
Harper did a pretty good job surviving there, but getting that arm trap is just too much to overcome.
Yeah,
50 seconds into the first, Newman gets the ball.
Harper walks off the mat. It's a good thing the referee didn't see that. He took a strap down on the edge of the mat here. After 157, team scores 36-12, Mason City. 175, Carlos Cabrera for the Sailors gets a forfeit. Brings us up to 190. Andrew Walter for the Sailors is going to get a forfeit.
75 or 90 for Newman. Looks like they have a pretty full squad. I guess that's a little surprising.
Yeah, they have a 215-pounder and a 285-pounder, so they're going to get those forfeits right on back here. So that's going to end the duel with the next two forfeits. Looks like freshman Aiden Reeson gets his hand raised at 215. And at heavyweight, it looks like it's going to be senior Jackson Sable for Mason City Newman, who will get his hand raised.
Should bring the final dual score 48-24 in favor of Newman Catholic.
Yeah, on the other mat, Central Springs and Old Wine is finished up, so we're going to be in a small little delay here while we wait for some time before we start the next round. We'll be right back with you.
And we're back for the second duel of the evening, Central Springs versus Columbus Catholic. Starting at 113 pounds for this duel. Central Springs with the forfeit.
Looks like Lane Knutson, freshman from Central Springs, gets the forfeit. Next up, we have 120 pounds. For your sailor is going to be junior Joe Hackett. And for the Panthers from Central Springs, Vincent DeMarco, freshman. Both these wrestlers received a forfeit in the first duel, so this is their first action of the night.
Nice little snap down or shot it to from Joe. Central Springs follows it up with a shot of their own.
It almost looks like he's trying to get a high crotch and then come back with a Russian tie, but
Joe just kind of bowls him over. Takedown and back points. He got that locked up. He did have it locked up pretty tight.
he did have it locked up pretty tight. I'm not sure why he gave up on that. He does secure, looks like 3 near falls. And Joe's going to be working on some offense here. So far, he's got a lead of 9-2. Joe's definitely bigger. Goes right for that bulldog headlock again. Has it locked up. He gives up on his back points again. Lets the guy escape.
Not really sure of the philosophy there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's not trying anything different on his feet. So usually if you're going to cut somebody like that, you're going to want to try some different things. But he keeps going back. There he does get the little duck under. Picking up some near fall points here. And with that, brings a tech fall for Hackett from Columbus. $126 for your sailor is Juan Negred, sophomore. And for Central Springs, it looks like it's going to be junior Dawson Jacobson. Negred's a first year wrestler for Columbus.
Good little shot defense there. Central Springs in on the leg again. We'll get the takedown here. Referee calls out of bounds there on the edge. We'll work back to center.
Double leg takedown by Central Springs. Looks like he's going to be working on his offense as well, and he lets the sailor wrestler to his feet. Goes in for another double leg takedown. Central Spring wrestler looks up the clock, see how much time he's got left. He has built up a lead of 9-2 so far. Got a far wrist with a half Nelson. And Central Springs get the fall with 1 minute and 8 seconds in the first period. Up next for the Sailors at 132 is junior Calvin Smith. And for the Panthers from Central Springs, looks like it's going to be senior Jack Pruin. I'd like to see Smith come out for the Sailors a little bit more aggressive and get in on a shot.
Central Springs in quick little arm drag for a takedown.
It's almost like a little arm drag to a heel pick. Central Springs lets him go. Back on their feet now. Central Spring ties up hard, looking for that high crotch, and He gets to the leg and he catches Calvin in a cradle. Calvin does a good job breaking it.
Doesn't get the leg pass. Belly's down.
We did get a near fall point there, so it's 8-1 for the Panthers from Central Springs. Calvin found himself in this position the last match, and he worked his way back for a near fall or for a pinfall. Let's hopefully he can do that same thing again.
Central Springs looking to crank over half.
He's got a far wrist half here. He's not really getting out into the front of the body, so he's having a hard time of turning him. Referee needs to make sure that shoulder's in a good position.
Got a little blood on the mat.
Yeah, we have blood time. Smith from Columbus is bleeding. He's bleeding pretty good there.
It's a faucet.
So while we have a little break, referee for tonight's event, young kids. Nice seeing some young kids give back to the sport of wrestling here. But can you tell me, Brandon, what is hanging from his pockets? I don't think I've ever seen a referee that has. I don't know if it's part of his belt or.
That is an excellent question.
I'm not quite sure what that is. He's got 2 strings hanging from both sides of his hips there.
It almost looks like a lanyard or part of a lanyard, but he's got it on both sides. So
he does have it on both sides.
Not quite sure.
We might be in this blood cleanup for a while here. There is a lot of blood on that white mat. Trainers out there doing a good job trying to get it all cleaned up here, but
the red blood really pops on the white.
that is true. It definitely does. Doesn't look like we've stopped blood time yet, but it looks like they're just in cleanup mode. So I would think blood time would be stopped here.
Referee is right there watching proceedings. Now he cuts blood time.
Now he cuts blood time.
We'll had a full minute and a half run off there. That's kind of unusual.
Yeah, normally once they get the bleeding stopped, they cut that blood time and allow time for cleanup, but the referee didn't allow that, so we had a lot of time roll off.
Might be a little younger referee, maybe a little inexperienced there on the blood management.
Yeah. So with the amount of blood that's on the mat, it's going to take a little bit here to dry that off.
Both wrestlers having a little laugh about the cleanup. Calvin will go down here.
Calvin's kind of balled up here. I'd like to see him get his head up a little higher. He's doing a good job fighting wrist.
I'd like to see him get moving a little bit. Over the years watching him, when he stands still is when he usually gets in trouble. We need a little constant action out of Calvin.
Yeah, he needs to do a better job of hand fighting down the bottom for sure. He's getting his wrist tied up, and both matches he's had so far, those wrists have been tied up. And it was very easy for the offensive wrestler to throw in a half Nelson. And Calvin's got his head down on the mat quite a bit here, and he gets caught in another half Nelson again. Central Springs is getting near fall points. Referee looks at it, and time runs out. It does look like we have another 4-point near fall.
Enough for a tech.
So that ends the match, 16-1 for Central Springs. Smith walks off the mat. Doesn't look like he's very happy here. Can't say as I would blame him there.
.138, we got Nick Brumez for Columbus.
And for Central Springs, it looks like it should be Southmore Winton Hogan.
it in on a quick takedown, does secure the 3. Going to work on that shoulder. Got a 2-on-1, it looks like.
Again, Columbus gets their wrist tied up. He just got a little arm bar in there. And he turns him for the fall at 33 seconds in the first period. Sailors will be open at 144 pounds. It looks like Ben Brown from Central Springs will get the forfeit. Brown gets his hand raised. Up next is 150 pounds for the Sailors is sophomore Brady Schumann. And for Central Springs, it looks like it's going to be senior Thomas Haas. However, they do have a freshman that weighed in at 150 pounds as well, but not sure which wrestler they're setting out there. So what would you say there, Brand? Has he got a build of a senior? Has he got a build of a freshman there?
That looks, I mean, I don't want to judge, but it looks like a little bit of a freshman there to me, perhaps. Built like like a beanpole, as they say. Over on the black mat there, Olwine and Newman. Olwine only brought 4 wrestlers down today, and they're up 17-5 on the team score. Oh, no, they're home. So 5-17, getting a win. I think the last match they had the ankle band switched. And we're ready to go back here on the white mat.
Last match for Schumann, he did a good job of hand fight, looking for that ankle pick. Let's see if he goes back to that action. He seems to be getting very comfortable with that ankle pick this year. I notice again here, Schumann's wearing my old wrestling shoes that he pulled out of the bin.
Referee is at the head table. I'm wondering if we have go time problems.
I wouldn't doubt it. Luckily for Iowa High School Athletic Association, they dropped that wait time down to 30 minutes from the 45 that it had been. So that seems to help quite a bit, but Central Springs is putting his shirt back on, so I'm guessing you're right. We are at that time limit that we have to wait for.
Well, we can have some bonus coverage here of the Olwine duel while we're waiting. Looks like they're at 150 pounds. Newman's going to crank him over for the fall.
Well, with the scoreboard issue, I think that 150 is for our match. They're using flip charts on the other match, so I'm not sure what weight that is. Looking at Olwine's roster, they do have a 150-pounder. They have a 65, 75, and a 285.
Our resident track expert, Lee Hansen, is telling us that was 165.
Was that just a second match over there?
That's an affirmative.
So Olwine does have a 75-pounder, but it doesn't look like Mason City Newman weighed in 175 pounder.
I think he just took a forfeit. Should be one more contested match at heavy, I think.
And both schools rarely do you see this, but both schools do have heavyweights. You have Spencer Michaels from Olwine, a junior, and Jackson Sable, a senior from Mason City Newman. Over on the black mat, both guys come out with a heavy hand fight. Olwine's trying to get a snap down. Mason City's having none of it here. Olwine wrestler does a good job stalking his opponent. Does seem to have a heavy right hand on his club. For those of you that might be tuning in, we are in a 30-minute match delay. Should be getting started back here very soon at 150 pounds. Over on the black mat, we do have a 0-0 score here in the first period at heavyweight. We're almost to the end of the first period over there on the black mat between Mason City Newman and Olwine Heavyweight. We have a 0-0 score. And that is the end of the first period over there. Looks like it's Green's choice. Green chooses down. Olwine hits a nice little sit out. Look for a switch, but he got some distance. He gets to his feet pretty quickly for a 1-0 lead. Looks like we're back at it here on the white mat. 150 pounds for your sailor, Brady Schumann. And for Central Springs, we're going to say this is Thomas Haas, Sr. Got a nice aggressive hand fight going on here. Brady needs to not reach so much. Central Springs took advantage and is in on a shot. Our resident track wrestling specialist, Lee Hansen, shows me this is Lincoln Levin, the freshman from Central Springs. You were right on the build, Brandon. He does have a takedown. He is getting some near fall points. He gets 4 of them. He's got a 7-0 lead very quickly out of the gate here.
Brady did not do a lot to keep his arm from getting tied up there.
Yeah, somebody with as long of arms as Brady has, he does need to do a good job of protecting those. Central Springs got a far wrist here. Looking like he wants to just hit a little bar over, and he does. He is getting back points. He's trying to sit through with that double arm bar now. He doesn't really have it secured great, but Brady in a high bridge does get pinned here at 53 seconds to go in the first period. Brady walks off the mat holding his shoulder.
Seems like it's going to be okay. Up next for Columbus, Gage Gellner.
157-pound junior. And for the Panthers from Central Springs, it looks like it will be Caden Gibbons, another senior on their roster.
Central Springs wasting no time on their feet.
Yeah, he was in on a quick shot with a takedown. They're very comfortable on their feet. Gives Gellner the escape. Gellner in on a shot, doesn't get it. Nice little slide by Central Springs for the takedown. He lets Gellner go. So we do have a 6-1 score here. I believe the scoreboard must not be working again. We've been having technical difficulties. Only shows. Oh, there we go. There we got 6. Now we're up. We're good. 6-2. Central Springs in with another quick takedown, building up a 9-2 lead here on Gellner.
I think that's 12. Gonna work for a fall too.
He does have 4 near fall points here. He's kind of got a Turk in here. He doesn't really have his leg elevated, but there's a pinfall for Central Springs right at 1 minute in the first period. Next up for the Sailors at 165 pounds is Ethan Harper, Jr., and it looks like he'll be taking on junior Jackson Edwards from Central Springs. Interesting fact about Ethan Harper, as a junior, this summer he is going to boot camp for the National Guard.
Good for Ethan.
Not very often you see a junior hitting boot camp.
Not very often.
He seemed excited about it last time I talked to him. Looking forward to it.
Good. Get a little jump on the career. I like it.
Central Springs in another high crotch. Little crackdown action here. Harper's hanging onto the body. Referee has not awarded the takedown yet. There's a takedown.
I might have held on to that.
Harper does a good job with a little sit out, gets back to his feet here. Central Springs on a 3-1 lead.
Harper looking for underhooks again. Seems to like trying to dig those through, trying to go a little upper body.
Yeah, he's going upper body, though he's not protecting his legs at all. Central Springs in on another outside single for a takedown. Harper gets to that sit-out position once again. He is trying to get out, but he's getting sucked back. He's got a he's on the gym floor, tapping the gym floor to get the referee's attention. No back points. Saved by the gym floor there.
Nice little stretch for the hardwood.
Yeah, I'm not sure the referee would have seen it had he not heard it. Harper starts in the down position here. Little update on the other mat. Olwine heavyweight gets the pinfall over Mason City Newman. And that should be the last match on that mat. Central Springs wrestler has got a little roll through tilt. He is racking up some back points here. Like to see Ethan get his feet out in front, kind of run towards his head. 4 near fall points. He still has the arm tied up. Ethan's got his head down on the mat, trying to build a base, but he brings his wrist in. Central Springs wrestler catches it. We've seen this a couple times out of the Central Spring offense. We're down to 10 seconds to go in the first period.
Media getting sucked back again for the second straight match.
He is getting 4 near fall points as well. Time's about up here. Time is out in the first period.
4 near falls, 14-1 going into the next period.
I wasn't sure if the referee slapped the mat there right as time was expiring or not, but he did award the back points. We are back to neutral here.
Time to try something big here. You're down 14-1. Another takedown is going to end the match.
Yeah, again, not protecting that low side. He gets the takedown right away. That ends the match with a tech fall. Ethan walks off the mat. He's not a happy camper. I think he was expecting a little bit more out of himself for that match. Brings the team score to 21-5 for the Panthers from Central Springs. We are now up to 175 pounds. For the Sailors, it looks like junior Carlos Cabrera. And for Central Springs, senior Dylan Blickendeffer. There's a name you've never heard before.
That's a new one. I think this is the 5th straight Central Springs wrestler who's taken a shot immediately off the whistle. They are wasting no time on their feet.
Central Springs in a Turk position. They are off the mat. Referee calls them. We'll get a fresh start here. 6-0,
3 near.
We got 3 near fall there. Sailor wrestler is a first-year wrestler here. Doing a good job putting up a fight, trying for a roll through tilt here, and he's getting back points. He may get the fall, and he does not. Does get 4 near fall points here.
Transition to a half, cranked him over.
Yeah, Central Springs likes that far wrist half. Most of their wrestlers have gone to that when they've had their guy bellied out. He does get the pinfall.
Seems to be pretty effective for him.
With that, brings a team score to 26-5 Central Springs, coming up to the 190-pound weight class. And looking at the weigh-in sheet, we have Dylan's brother Lincoln Derfer. I don't think I'd want to spell that every day.
Glad you took a stab at it, not me.
One of those you just don't see very often. He's going to get his hand raised. Looks like Columbus is not sending out Walter. .215, Central Springs is going to get a forfeit here. And at heavyweight. We'll go all the way down to 106 pounds. Central Springs does have a freshman, Truman Hogan, will get a forfeit. That will bring us to the last match of this duel. Team score has not been updated yet after all the forfeits. We'll give you that when it goes final here.
They got some track maneuvering to do. We'll take a quick short break here and give you the final when they get track all finished updating. Final duel of the evening will be Sailors versus the Oelwein Huskies. We'll be back in just a little bit.
And we are back in action here at Opel Gymnasium for our final duel of the evening between the Oelwein Huskies and the Columbus Sailors. This duel should see just 3 matches as Oelwein only weighed in 4 kids. We'll be starting at 120 pounds and we'll be getting forfeit after forfeit. For the Sailors is Joe Hackett.
They've got them all lined up behind the bench, ready to go.
126 for getting the forfeits going to be Juan Negred. This is going to be a quick duel. What's your over-under?
4 minutes.
4 minutes? 4 minutes for 3 matches? I'm going to go 12.
Okay.
132 for the Sailors is Calvin Smith. Jr. gets his hand raised. Sailors advance the team score to 18-0. $138 is going to be junior Nick Barumez getting the forfeit. There will be a double forfeit at 144, although the Sailors did weigh in Sullivan Ahern at 138. They could bump him up to take a forfeit, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
Sullivan's over eating popcorn on the bench, so I don't think that's happening. He's got sweats on and a bag of popcorn. Looks like his night's over.
Well, they do have good popcorn here. Be a double forfeit at 144. First match of the evening is going to be at 150 for the Sailors. Going to be sophomore Brady Schumann, and he will be taking on another sophomore, Seth Latham from the Oelwein Huskies.
Busy night for Bambi, getting some good mat time today.
Yeah, he needs good mat time. Let's see if he comes out here and has an aggressive hand fight. Seems to be his MO. He does have the Oelwein Husky back on his heels. It'd be a great time for that heel pick.
Setting it up. Maybe.
A little duck under try. Did not get the takedown, but he did get underneath that arm with that long frame of his. And he does, he goes for that heel pick. He just didn't finish. Both guys back on their feet. Brady with a double leg. Oelwein does a good job of defending that off. Both guys back to their feet, tied up, forehead to forehead here. Out of bounds here.
Circle back in a little bit. He's backing straight out. Might get called for that here.
Goes for a shot right out the whistle, and he doesn't get it. Both guys back to their feet. Both guys are tied up here. Looks like forehead to the back of the head. I'll tell you what, when that Oelwein wrestler goes to make contact, he brings both arms wide to the head. It'd be a great time for a blast double. Brady's got a front headlock from his feet. Let go of the head, Brady. Let go of the head.
It looks like he's going for a guillotine choke. This for MMA.
He's going to be careful there. He's going to get himself pinned. I'm not sure why he's holding on to that head with his right hand, and he does. He gets himself pinned. All he needed to do was let go of the head there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to quickly congratulate Lincoln Lickenderfer from Central Springs on his 100th career high school win.
Next matchup for the Sailors at 157 is Gage Gellner. He gets a forfeit. Brings us to the 165-pound weight class. Junior Ethan Harper for the Sailors. And it looks like it's going to be Cooper Reisner, a senior from Oelwein.
I don't think so. They can forfeit.
Well, they didn't send anybody out.
Going to bump away from medium-sized E.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why you would do that, but it looks like they're putting him up at 175 pound against first-year wrestler for the Sailors in Carlos Cabrera, a junior. That strategy seems kind of odd to me.
Like their chances against the first year wrestler better, I guess.
One wrestler in on an outside single. Good job defending it by Carlos.
Good defense there. Did some level changes. Looking for an opening.
Back to that same outside single shot. He does have the leg. Looks like he's going to get the takedown here. And he does. One wrestler, oh, he tries to give him the escape and do a little heel trip there. He doesn't get it. It's 3-1 Olwine.
It was not particularly close for the trip, but we appreciate the enthusiasm. Got a nice double here.
He does have a nice double. Feet to back here. He is getting near fall points. Again, interesting strategy of moving this guy up to 175 pounds, but I'm sure the coach had a reason for doing it. We do have a 3 near fall there. On the scoreboard, the Sailors do lead 36-6.
Lets it off his back and escape. 4 near fall.
It's 13-2 is the score. I'm not sure why you let your opponent off their back there, but he did. So let's see if Carlos can go in and get a shot off here. He does take a shot. He doesn't get it, but he does take a shot there.
Fends off an attack from the Olwine wrestler. Going to get out of the first period, perhaps. 5 seconds remaining.
Olwine's in an outside
And he's gonna
single.
survive the period.
Times out right before the takedown happened. So we do get to the second period with Olwine leading 13-2. Red's choice, and he goes neutral.
We'll sweep single for the takedown. Next point for Olwine will be a tech.
Looks like he might be working a little butcher action here.
Like it.
He is getting the swipes, and there's the fall. 33 seconds in the second period. At 190 here, you get Joe Walter for the Sailors gets a forfeit. So I'm guessing that their 175-pounder, the freshman, might be hurt because he did not wrestle. Maybe that's why they maneuvered their lineup the way they did.
Possible.
So we're only going to get 2 matches out of this duel. Thought we'd get 3, but looks like only 2. Sailors have a lead 36-12. Olwine comes out at heavyweight and will get their hand raised for a forfeit. Junior Spencer Michaels.
With that said, Columbus is going to come out of the nightcap with a dual victory, 36-18.
Sailors are next in action Saturday at North Tama. And that will wrap up the regular season. Looking ahead for the Sailors the following weekend will be the NICL Conference Tournament. And then they'll have a week off before they get ready for district preparation.
Thank you for coming out. As you leave, we kindly ask you look around you, pick up any trash in your area. Thank you for your help and cooperation, and drive safely.
So with that, we thank you for tuning in and listening. Looked like we had a little over 100 people listening on the evening. So Sailors will be back in action on Saturday.
Signing out, that's Denny Bolin. I'm Brandon Bolin. See you next season.